Want to welcome you one more time to our show. Tonight we're going to be talking about the holidays, and I want to welcome to the show um, Keisha War. I'm sorry, my son Greg, and April Mallory. Thanks again for showing. You guys, I wanted us to just take our time, relax, and talk about the holiday season. I wanted you to tell me what do you think that these holiday seasons kind of like mean to you, Keisha?
Well, these days I'm a little confused at what the holidays mean to me because so much of the holidays was like really wrapped around my mom, and I lost her in 2013. So the holidays have definitely changed for me.
Holidays, Christmas. There's a lot of memories. You think about family. It's a time of a lot of get-togethers and coming together.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's also thoughts of uh, family as a husband and a father, of managing people, family.
April?
I think about the festive part of it, the lights and, the presents and, the smiling kids and everything. It is hard now because we all have lost someone, but still, I still think about the lights and all the festive things and, of course, the religious part of it.
Yes,
you
yes,
know?
yes. We were talking about the different holidays that are going for this holiday season, the different types of celebration you got in Christianity. We're celebrating the birth of Christ, and you
Yes,
talked about.
definitely Kwanzaa. You have Hanukkah. Then we were even talking about. We were wondering what do they
Don't
So-
know. I mean,
celebrate.
we're just coming off of Ramadan, but I'm not sure if there's something. But
When do the Chinese have a holiday too going on too?
Chinese New
They
Year.
do,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Chinese
New Year.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, right around here. So
I
everybody celebrates something pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you excited, April, about this holiday season?
It's kind of hard right now.
Okay.
Because, but in a way, I still have that excitement. I haven't started decorating.
Me either.
I
Me
want to
either.
put up that tree.
Okay.
But it's still a good time of year. If you put everything aside, and you have to do that sometimes. You can't dwell on everything. So, yeah, I do look forward to it.
I definitely
Keisha, do you have any traditional things that you do
Well,
that you look forward to doing during this holiday season?
I think more than anything, it's more important for me to spend time with my family because everything is so rushed during the year, and so now we've all gotten a chance to, well, we're getting a chance to sit down together and eat a meal together as one family. But I've kind of gotten away from all the traditional lights and all that. Just so many things I've read, and I'm kind of like start trying to pull away from these pagan ways or whatever. But we still enjoy or intend to enjoy the jolly holidays.
And
So,
do you have any traditions, Greg, that you like to reflect on?
Oh man, I have memories. I'm not really a type of person that really. I kind of think about stuff that happens and looking at it greater in the society that we live in. We have we create this real experience for children. That's like a
it's
part
for
of
children.
the
That's what
the
it's
kind of
about.
American culture.
American
Yes.
culture thing.
Exactly.
So like if we can, we want to create this like magical season for
Yes.
them.
Yes.
But in doing that, as an adult, like as a person who's raised in kids,
Yes.
you kind of want to examine it a little bit. I feel like it's kind of getting our society's super consumerist and very
Ooh.
materialistic,
yes,
and that's
yes.
very countercultural. If you talk about faith, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not the faith; it's the culture,
It's
right?
true.
Very much so.
That's true.
And I've intentionally not like kind of pushed that off. Like I don't get into it like that.
That's you
Like,
personally, or
me
is the
personally.
household?
I mean, for me and my kid,
Okay.
like
Okay.
It's funny that you say that. I didn't mean to step on your toes, but it's funny that you said that because I was having a conversation with someone about the Macy's Day Parade. And we were actually kind of like examining Thanksgiving and the true meaning behind Thanksgiving. That's where the conversation started. And one of the things they were talking about was the Macy's Day Parade and how it all began, and it was all about the immigrants, and they created some type of celebration where they were all bringing food in because they wanted to kind of like, they wanted to be a part of the American tradition.
Yeah.
And so,
Assimilation.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so what ended up happening, it turned into this big parade, but what they were saying, what I want to get back to, is they were talking about that it being more about us buying things. It was about it being commercial. So, and then they used the example of at the end of the parade, Santa Claus is the last person you see, and he's saying bye, bye, but it's more about not B-Y-E, but B-U-Y.
That's something.
Yes, and what I noticed was when I watched the parade this time was that everything was about buying. I've never watched it in that light
that
before.
lens.
I mean, they were like, they were promoting everything from like new cartoons and TV shows that were coming on different networks. And I've never really looked at it from that, like that view. I never analyzed it like that. I've always watched it as a kid. I was really excited. You know, you want to see Santa Claus come down? Oh my goodness. Some of the floats, Garfield,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just something to think about. It was all about us being consumers.
But
Yeah.
you know what though? I totally get that. You know, as an adult, you see things different. You know, you see things as commercial, political, the heritage part of Christmas and Thanksgiving. You know, but I don't want to make it that deep for kids.
Right.
You know, I want them to go ahead and think about Christmas
That's
as
real.
being beautiful, and
Uh-huh.
because they got
Fantasies.
later on in life
You're
to
right.
take things
You don't want to
serious.
take that away
Yeah.
from them.
Exactly.
Oh, let me just push back just a little bit. Not, I hear what you're saying, but I think that's also a cultural thing that we have.
It
like,
is
there's
cultural.
a certain level
It is
of
cultural.
innocence that we want to like put into our kid as almost a marker of privilege. Sure, so it's almost like suburban white kids, they don't have to deal with this stuff, but so I don't want my kid to have to deal with these realities. But I think sometimes you push away something that's really simple. Is that like when you're learning about the world and about life at a young age, you can absorb it so much easier
Yeah.
than when you're older and you're indoctrinated in a kind of a way
true.
of avoidance.
That's true.
Right? Like it's something that I talk about with my wife all the time. Is that it's just like we trying to protect something that don't. Why should you be protected from the truth?
But you know what though? In my family, we were a little different. You know, it's like it wasn't all about presents. And it's like, hey, if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. You know, it was just we had the family round, we had the Christmas tree. You know, there was times I couldn't even get my kids anything. You know, and maybe I bounced a check to get a gift. You know,
Everybody knows the story.
Everybody
knows the
Everybody knows the
been there.
story.
But you know, our family was a little different. You know, it's like we all got together and like, hey, you got me a gift, cool.
When
I couldn't get you
love-
anything, but that was okay.
Yeah.
April, when
Yeah.
love is in the room.
Yeah.
And I think that this season should promote a feeling of love in the room.
Yeah, that's
Like even if it's just you and your dog,
Mm-hmm.
you should be able to sit there on a holiday of choice and just
And
whether
be
you have
okay.
to reminisce, but or whatever. I think like this program talking about holidays, it you have to consider your neighbor, you have to consider the caretakers, you have to consider the people that watch for your soul, you have to consider the people that's the police, the different ones that are watching over you, and we cannot take so much for granted. I love the holidays. One of my favorite things to do is just sit there and reminisce on what my favorite holiday ever was in my 61 years of living. And I remember aromas.
Me too.
I remember the
Me
smell
too.
of the
The
holidays.
smell.
Oh, I remember my mama peanut butter cookies.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
remember love all in the room.
Yeah.
too.
My mom
Exactly.
cooking with love, and my son could tell you his mom did. She cooked with love. She didn't have the best cooking, but she cooked with a whole lot of love in the room.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
And to me, those feelings are are the things of the season, not looking at our checkbook, not looking at what we have or didn't have, but when you sit back all by yourself and you get a chance to reminisce, and I'm saying this because my sons are here, and you reminisce on the electric football game, and y'all sitting there playing it for hours and hours,
yeah.
and you as the mother, and you sit up there and you cooked all day, about to pass out,
Yes.
and you find 2 ounces of energy to watch your kids enjoy how you
Exactly.
spent out
Yes, ma'am.
every penny, cooked all night. I'm just throwing this into all the women that know where I'm coming from. And you got up and served your family
Yeah.
with love. That is
Yes,
Christmas to me.
ma'am.
That's Christmas to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't understand that until you've done it on your own. You know, now that I'm older and I'm, cooking dinner, I'm doing all the buying, it makes me feel a different type of way towards my mom, and the things that she
Yes.
sacrificed, the things that she gave. And she always made it look so easy. That's why it's so hard for me
That's
during
what
the
she talk about,
holidays. I miss her. I really do.
fantasies.
I miss her so much because, and then like you said, everything reminds you the aromas, the
Yes.
smells. It reminds me of my mother. This was like her favorite holiday season, and and she just loved it. She loved to serve her family. She never complained. I mean, she bought so many gifts. I don't know how she did it. Maybe she did with a magic wand or something, because I do not know how she did it with the wallet.
But they did, and it was a different era for them too. It's like they struggled probably a little more than we did. I mean, we have a lot more
would've
options
never
out
known
there.
it.
Well, yeah, you would never know it, but we have a lot more options out here for us than they did then. And I remember my parents, having like the big Christmas tree, because it was 5 of us,
Yeah.
and like it was a lot of you guys, and and it was like we had the Christmas tree, the gifts under there, and I'm like, how the heck did they do that? I'm thinking about that now. So I
Yeah.
remember telling my mom one time, I said, "Mom, I ain't got no money. I don't have no money to buy a gift." She said, "I don't care what your dad said. He got a loan to get those gifts. He struggled just like you. So, it's like they didn't tell us that.
Yeah.
We thought these gifts magically appeared.
Well, Santa Claus brought it.
Exactly. We didn't have a chimney, so my neighbor said he came on a helicopter.
Yeah.
It's like
I thought it was real.
He thought it was
I thought it was real.
Exactly.
That's crazy, because my kids, they, after my oldest 3, they got a little older, I revealed it, because I was like, listen, I worked too hard to get those gifts. I'm not allowing some fat white man take my credit. I'm sorry. So please get your kids out the room. I don't want them to hear this, but please, no.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that you say that, because from the time I was a kid, well, I only have one kid that I was supposed to have, but so I always told him, I don't believe in that throwing these fantasies and all these things, because especially as a man, and especially as a person of, as
Say it.
a black person, a poor person, or there's various levels. It is really helpful to
Yes,
be
it
a
is.
realistic, truthful
Well,
person
that's true.
in your life.
Yeah.
And to have somebody thinking that, oh, I'm so special.
Yeah,
That the
right.
universe, the
Yes.
magic, and treat.
You should be the hero at that time.
I got you this.
Yes,
And
yes.
so, I just don't. It doesn't make it not magical, because this is the thing.
It
In our
doesn't make it not magical.
It doesn't.
I get it.
Because in our society, we have in the civilized world, we have the hardest working society.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
we
we
don't
do.
get no time off.
Exactly. Other countries, they take vacations. We don't.
They take 5, 6, 7, 8
Exactly.
weeks of vacation, 11 weeks of vacation every
Yes.
year. All right, we the one country that we don't get no time off
We don't.
until Thanksgiving and Christmas.
That's true.
That's it. So it's the only time
Yeah, we're the
for a
hardest
regular
working
person
nation, yeah.
that they can actually literally get with their family.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So we gonna get together and we gonna do what we do, and like I said, like the situation, the magic. And see, I think that we all grew up in a televised era.
Oh.
And we watched all these movies,
Yes.
and we glamorized this romanticizing of
We did.
Yes, we did.
And
sentimentality.
we will continue
Christmas.
to do so.
Exactly.
Okay?
But see, the thing is that what happens is because being an adult, how I think about the holidays is so radically different than the childish, like, magical. Because you know what I think about? I think about, how's my wife gonna dealing with that aunt that she's got a problem with, or these real problems of, like, relational problems that really come to the fore.
But you know what?
At Christmas time.
At Thanksgiving, at Christmas,
yeah,
and even like in the media, there's a lot of stuff in the media, like when Thanksgiving came around, and families are divided over Trump, right? So, like, people are like, we don't know what's gonna happen with the political talk.
Okay.
Should we talk about this or should we talk about that? That's a big deal because it's the one time of the year where families come together.
Yeah, and they talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we
Talk
need
and disagree.
We need to put Christ as the center of Christmas, as the center of our conversation. If Christmas is what we're celebrating, then I think I often thought to myself that it was important for me to make sure my children understood that Christ is the reason for the season. And maybe we don't do the whole birth story, but the story comes on TV all week long, and
Yeah, it does.
we hear the Christmas music. But here's the act of it comes to an act of faith. But one of the precious memories for some of us Christian mothers is when you had your Christmas pageants and the children dressed up and said their Christmas speeches.
Yeah, they
we
still do.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I recently called my mom and asked her for my Christmas basket, which is an apple, an orange, and a candy, because that is a part of my Christmas memory.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking, I said, little things mean a lot. So I work at a nursing home, and when I'm asking them about their memories, guess what are the biggest memory that the old people have up here? It's snow. Snow is a big deal for them. They look forward to seeing snow on Christmas.
Wow.
They want to see snow, and they want to see their families. So everybody
Hate snow.
is.
Hey, that movie White Christmas was some nice propaganda.
It was.
Yeah, right.
It
Well,
really was.
It's kind of like a part of what it's part of our heritage. It's kind of like what we look forward to or what we feel like we deserve in
But you know
Northeastern
what, though?
Ohio.
I think it's okay sometimes to, like, fantasize about good things, because at this time, like I said, we're older.
season
We've
in
had
life.
loss. Sometimes you have to push yourself to
Yes.
be happy.
Yes, you do.
Ooh,
You know,
April,
this
you
time of
preaching
year.
now.
You know, and I've had to. You
Yes.
know, I just lost my parents, lost my brother within 2 years.
So sorry to hear
Yes,
that.
yes.
You
So
know,
sorry.
and so I find myself, so I won't go down in this slump, because it's so easy to.
Yeah.
You know, just to fantasize. If I want to look at White
That's good.
Christmas
That's good.
to make myself feel better,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
There's a term they use for that, right?
Yes, I think they call it like for some people. Now, it's seasonal affect disorders, and for some people, it's more than just the holidays. It's the seasons as the seasons change, and it's a type of depression that people suffer. And some of the symptoms are just feeling depressed and losing interest in activities and having low energy, sleeping a lot, and sluggish and feeling agitated, grumpy. For some people, that's their daily but. During this holiday season, they have lost loved ones. And do you all relate to that or know people or have seen that?
Yeah, it was a point in time that I actually would have not even understood that, because the holidays usually come around and I feel so good, I'm happy, you know, it goes back again to my mom, if you guys can tell. But the thing about it is that I never really understood it until the first year she was gone, and it was the first Christmas that I had without her, and I really didn't even want to celebrate Christmas. It was really hard for me that year, and each year it seems to get harder and harder.
It does.
But you know, this
Do you
year,
have siblings or other people
Yes,
around you?
yes, I do.
And it still don't help?
well, I don't know with other people, but I know in my situation, the dynamics changed a little bit in our family. Once my mother died, she was the head, she was the matriarch, and we kind of like fell apart from each
Tremendous
other.
loss.
It happens.
Tremendous loss.
Yeah, it was a huge
Yeah.
loss for us.
Organizing,
Yeah, it was done. We didn't even
Yeah.
get together for Christmas like that anymore. We still don't. And she's been gone since 13. We've been talking about trying to mend the fences because there were like arguments over, of course, property and things like that. So, and I've never really understood these things because I hadn't experienced anything like that. I mean, I've experienced loss, but nothing so big. It was major how it impacted all of us, and we've changed.
Yeah, it's hard to even mourn
It-
sometimes when you're going
that
through
is-
that.
that is-
I mean, it's so many other elements,
Yes.
in this, when it comes to death and when it comes to family. And just like you said, it does something to the family.
It did.
And it did something to mine. And it's really, it hurts. It hurts because you can't mourn.
But you know what?
And you can't really understand everything that's going on, and you can't grasp it.
People fail to realize that there are different type of losses other than death. Some
Yeah.
people are sick. That's a loss. They lost
That
really.
is.
And then some people, when they're going through these emotional changes, this season makes it so difficult if you're laid off from a job.
Oh, wow.
If you,
Yeah.
I'm just talking
Yeah.
about stuff
Yeah.
gets
That's real
heavier.
stuff.
That's major.
Yeah, that's
And-
major.
I think that the holiday season highlights what's really important to people.
That's good.
Family and relationships is the most important thing. I don't
Yes.
care like what you think.
I
It
agree.
comes to the fore that it's super important. And in the holidays, a lot of these relationship bonds get really tested. And I don't think people really understand that around like organizing, having everybody over my house, right? Makes the organizer, if they're a good organizer,
Yep.
has to actually know what's happening. You got to know that, okay, she has a strained relationship over here.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
This trauma happened over here, and I kind of got to pay attention to this and
Exactly.
that. And then at the same time, most people have no idea or no real need, don't want to know. They just want you to act nice. So your
That's
faking
right.
is almost like going to church because your faking is super nice right now.
No.
But
So-
you know what though, it's still of vital importance because it seems like Christmas is almost like glue. You have a choice to
Yeah,
be
that's
there.
true.
You have a choice to share in that, even if it's the phone call. I think that the holiday season actually still brings out the best in people. We have a tendency to say happy holidays. We have a tendency to speak. We have a tendency to knock on our neighbor's door to say hello. Do you need anything? It has a way of kind of bringing out the best in people. And I'm going to go back to seasonal affect disorder because we all know somebody that suffered some type of sad feeling or sadness, whether it was a personal loss, if monetary loss. And this, what we can do is just to share a little bit of ourselves.
Well, that whole mental health part is super true, and there's like some real biological things that we should know about ourselves. Like I used to live in Seattle. When you live in Seattle, what happens in the wintertime is that the sun never comes out. It basically is like overcast and raining all the way through the winter.
Wow.
And so literally suicides go up,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
things of depression go up and things like that. But so like there is a biological
Reason.
side to it, and there's biology involved with all different types of depression.
Yeah.
Period. Whether it's seasonal, whether it's, but I think as people, the thing that we have the most control about is that we can usually come into a situation and have positive, like agency, is realizing that people are super relational, and in the holiday season, there's a lot happening. And the thing is that you come into contact with so many people who really don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like, this is the thing. Like, even family members. We have family, and we love our family. That's the thing about family. We love them, whether they're good or whether they're bad. But you get forced to be with these people who you know really don't care about how you feel.
Exactly.
You know, like, they just want you to perform.
Yeah, I know, right?
And that's what we do.
Right, like,
I mean, we
yeah,
do
that's
do
what
it.
we
Well,
do.
I hope you all continue to perform. Because family needs family. They
Yeah.
need the performance. They need the support. They need to know that they're a part and they belong. Because guess what? Dysfunction is in every family. And guess what? I think that withdrawing in this season is very detrimental. That's why they have the suicides. That's why they have people committing crimes. That's why you have folks not being good to each other. And the support is huge. It's supporting more than anything. And you guys, we've been given a high sign of that our conversation has to come to a close. But what I wanted you to do is tell me this event that's coming up.
Okay, yeah. So the event is a screening of Black Buckeyes, Tale of Two Cities, and is actually produced and directed by Leah Lewis. She's a phenomenal lady. I met her a couple weeks back here, and it's going to be screened at East Cleveland's Public Library on Saturday, December 14th from 1 to 3:30. So they're going to have an actual screening, and then they're going to have a, what do you call a question, what am I trying to say?
Q&A.
Q&A, thank you. Yes, thank you. So yeah, they're gonna have a Q&A afterwards, so it's gonna really be an awesome event, and we hope to see you guys all out here, because that's what will be this Saturday.
Okay.
There's also Black Nativity going on at the Karamu House. It started, I believe, on the 12th, and I think it'll go even past Christmas holiday. But I think we ought to go and support that venue. There are also, this is something that families, grandmas and grandpas can take their kids to see the lights that are downtown Cleveland at both Akron and Cleveland zoos have special.
And Neela View.
And
Yeah.
Neela View
Yeah.
is
I
a
was just gonna say that,
historical site. Because I remember as a little girl in the car going through neighborhoods just looking at lights. And that's pretty exciting if
It
we
is.
make it exciting
So
for our
Neela View,
kids.
I'm sorry, is Neela View the
That's on Noble.
Yeah, that's GE.
Yeah, that's GE, right.
GE,
That's
okay.
correct.
Just wanted to
And
make sure.
those are some things that can do. There are a lot of parties going on because this is the party season.
Yeah, be careful during your Christmas parties at work, for sure. That's not your real friends.
Yeah, right.
I never do.
We want to wish everybody a happy holidays from Miyoshi and
Keisha.
Greg.
In April.
happy holidays, you all.
Merry
Meet-
Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Happy Kwanzaa,
Yes.
Yeah.
Hanukkah and all that good stuff.
Hanukkah, and all that good stuff. But thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you for having us.
See you next
Yes.
time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah.